Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel on this road to 2000. This will be day 221. Now, this is actually my fourth time trying to record this because basically I had some sort of technical issues and it just didn't work the first couple of times. I thought I had it the third time and it still didn't work. So I'm going to keep my eye on it this time and make sure it's working. But anyway, the first two games, because I still played the games, were draws, and there was nothing in it really, pretty boring. And the third one I won. So as you can see on the screen, I'm up to 1754. So happy to be around this 17 mid 1700 level, which is good. And let me just show you what happened with this game that I won. So the usual c4. Now that was a weird move actually. e6 was just kind of like, wasn't quite sure what to make of this. So continued with my development. There we go. And just got my pieces out. Nothing out of the ordinary. So I took they started sort of gaining on the center. And I was like, hang on a minute. With my English, I like to play it at a sort of slow-paced build-up and allow my pieces to get developed. And then we try and figure out a plan of how to attack, depending on how they've sort of got their pieces out and about as well. So I'm thinking, okay, let me just make sure that they can't push any further. I don't want that happening. And they start to develop some more, so do I. Computer wants me to push and all that kind of stuff, but we didn't do it. We just castled. I was thinking, right, let me just do that. They've kind of extended their pawns quite far now. So I'm waiting for them to sort of get rid of their bishop somehow and they can castle. But so they developed their bishop there. And I just want that bishop out of there. So we just push them away. And now we're just trying to sort of lock down the middle or just trying to sort of force our way through a little bit. They push on. So we're like, okay, hang on a minute. It gives us a chance to sort of get our knight in a better position maybe, or just maybe even push forward and get the fork. And they take, and then I take back with the pawn. So now, as you can see, they got 4 pieces lined up all in a row. So I've got a potential fork there and a potential fork there. And they're starting to kind of get worried. They can see what's coming. They can see that either way they're going to get forked. So they move. We fork. They take. We take. Now it's saying I should have taken the knight first with check, which is fair enough because they end up taking back the pawn like so. Okay. And I'm winning now, 3.9. And I'm just like, get them queens off the board. And I think, well, okay, let's just mess up their pawn structure. Pin the knight. So that's what happens there. And then they take, so I take back, and then the rook comes down. And what do I play? What do I play? I mean, what do you play in this situation? Because I completely and utterly missed it. I'm just like, look, let's just mess up their pawn structure. And if they take back, we can always, like, at some point maybe take back with the rook, and completely missed the free rook. So yeah, shame on me for that. Anyway, got that out of the way, and I'm winning by 3.1, but opponent didn't make it easy. I mean, I'm still worried about these pawns coming down against these two. I mean, they've still got a few pawns over here. They can sort of get into the game. This rook was out of the action, which was a blessing for me. Now I'm thinking, right, let's just start getting the pieces off the board. I can take. Then they come in there, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I mean, they've got the knight and the rook looking at b2. So I'm thinking, all right, okay. Let's just give them a check and try to give them another check. So obviously the bishop is looking after the knight and the knight is looking after the rook. So I'm thinking, okay, I can win myself a pawn. And they get out of that. And so I take the pawn. Now they take the bishop, and I'm thinking, hey, but then I get it because obviously I take back. I've won myself the rook, but they won themselves 2 pieces. So that works out better for them. They close the gap on me, and now it's only 1.6 advantage. And I'm thinking, ooh, gosh, hang on a minute. This wasn't supposed to happen. So I don't know why I pushed that pawn. Maybe just to give myself a little bit of breathing space. I was a little bit unsure what was coming next. And then, okay, rook, it wants rook out for them. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll just get this, but surely the king just comes and defends, so that wasn't a good move. It's saying I should have pinned the knight, and I get that, yes, fair enough. They get out of the way. And I wanted to cover this G file just because I didn't want them coming in and maybe sort of ganging up. So there's a check there, for example, if their rook was over here on G8. And it's just, I don't know, I just at least cover the square. So I'm thinking, okay, here I've kind of got to take. I'm going to take. They come in with a check. Now, this is me trying to stay out the way from any forks. And we all know a knight can be, yes, a pain in the neck. So I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to get forked. So I took my time for a few moves. Give them a check first. Now, the issue here is, look, they don't have too many places to go to at the moment. They can't come in here because of the pawn. They can't stay on this D file. They can't come close to my king. Ignore that. And this is all cut off. So they're running out of room to go to. So obviously I want them to hope. I was hoping, I don't know, they'd maybe sort of come in there. That would have been much better than I jump in here like so. And then they just have to go over here. And then I can maybe just, yeah. So look, they've got out the way. And then I have to get out the way as well. And now if they check me again, I can take the knight. And they come in there. Give them a check. I take the pawn. They can't do much here really, so they give me a check. We come back. Now we're threatening the knight and the rook, and if they give me a check, I just take the knight. So I was happy here, and it's just looking pretty good for me. And then here they just take, and it's just pretty much not over yet. So I take the pawn. And I've got this free pawn over here that's just gonna run for home basically. And yeah. Wow. Okay, so it wanted me to take it wants me to take the knight, but I was thinking, right, let me just get rid of the pawn when they get closer. Didn't even need to get that far, to be honest. Oh, I missed out on a free knight. But by now you should see it's just totally done. And it's just one move away from mate. But anyway, that's what happened. So 1754 is where I currently stand. Now, hopefully, no more technical issues. So I'm going to press a 10-minute match and see if everything kind of transfers. It doesn't. 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 Okay. 3, 2, back 2. Okay, I think that works. I think this has worked now. I don't know what's happening with the whole setup. Okay, cool. E4, E5, 940 and 958. It's about right. I don't think that clock's moving. It's not. Their clock isn't moving. So how do I change that clock? That's it. So if I can just go to that quickly. Okay, now it's moving and grooving. Right, I think we're okay now. I don't know what's happening. So I'm just going to get my pieces out. Wasted a bit of time on that. Again, I thought it was all set up before I showed you the game, but for some reason this keeps on happening. So this pawn is currently being attacked by the knight, and they're currently taking out the defender. So let me just, I think that is a move, isn't it? I'm getting into a bit of weird stuff here actually. I can't even remember what I do here. I think that's a move. That is a move. If they take, then I just put some pressure on the knight. If they take, I take back with this pawn here. If they take that free pawn, it's a mistake because queen comes up here like so. And yeah, this is the move. It seems weird because there's a check. Now, basically what happens here is they check, I take, and then I take back, and they normally think they can win the rook, but queen protects. Hang on a minute, let me just make sure. Bang, in, takes, and then yeah, look. So we protect like that. See, look, we take, and look, the queen defends the rook, but they've got to have seen that now. Ooh, wow. Okay, so this is a line as well, I think. Now with this, I can't remember what I do. What do I do? What do I do? I think it's just queen over. Sorry, king over, d8. It's that, isn't it? d8 and then what? There's a check there, but then I just come out and we exchange. It's just d8, isn't it? What is the move? It's d8. It's d8. We're coming into a pawn is currently defended. Okay, cool. So they're looking to get this out and give me a check, which completely and utterly ruins everything. So I think we just have to make sure that doesn't happen. And saying that, if they're coming for a check, I go in like so. If they take, king comes out. Not the end of the world. I mean, I think I might have got my moves wrong here. What about knight out? What was the move? I can't believe it. This doesn't normally happen. This is normally a kind of blitz game. I think I just come back, but that is really bad because then they do this and I'm pinned. So that's not the move. I think that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. They may just take the pawn. If they take the pawn, they take the pawn. If they take the pawn, I'm jumping in here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to jump in here now. Yeah, I can't be messing about here. What does the queen want to do? They take, I take. I can't castle. If queens come off the board, it's slightly less of a concern. So for the time being, we are just gonna ride this out. It always looks scary when you can't castle, the queen's up in your face and your pieces aren't developed and stuff. But I mean, the same could be said for them. I mean, their two rooks are sort of in the corners. King's not castled. They've got this queen tension going on at the moment. Right, okay, so do I just take, or do I take? No, because that puts pressure. Knight would take with pressure on my queen. What about this? Then maybe come out and hit the queen. It's an idea. They're currently eyeing up this as well, so they might try and do that. If they do, I just meet it with this. If they pressure, I take. They take, I take. That doesn't quite work either. Why do I get myself in these situations? And obviously if I go like this, then they can come in. But then I take, they take, and I'm cool. So I'm just going to keep the pressure going. I mean, I don't see why I can't do that. I've got doubled up pawns, so if they take, but if they push, I've got to take. I'm going to take. Now, I can hit the queen. In fact, I can take the pawn. Knight doesn't take, so I take, like so. Helps me develop. .3 minutes down on time on them, but I always said at some point, if I feel like I've reached my absolute peak of peaks, then I will just okay. Like I can hit them again, can't I? But what I'd love to do, obviously, is rook out, but that is not an option. So do I hit queen? I think I just hit the queen, no? I hit the queen. Hit the queen. Yeah, I was always saying if I get to a point where I feel like I really need a lot more time, I feel like I've still got enough time with 10 minutes, but that might be about to change as we kind of get into the mid-70s, mid-17s, sorry. So yeah, we will play it by ear, but for the time being, it seems to be enough time. Okay, now they're coming in like so, which is obviously a bit of a concern. Let's give them a check. Let's force these off the board. Obviously, if they take, we can take back with the king or the knight. So we're going to take back with the knight, develop it. They're going to castle. We can't castle. But we can. I quite like this. Look, I'm not being stupid. I'm not just trying to trade everything off. I'm doing this for a reason, because if they take, then I take back with this pawn. Then I can line up my pawns nicely, because at the moment I've got doubled up pawns. So that's my reason. And then we get to a point where things obviously, okay, cool. So if I take and they take, that's cheeky. So basically, if I take, they take, and then I take, they take, and I can't, I have to move the king. So if I move the king now, where do I go? Where are they going? Are they going to go in there? Do I just move to the side? Jump in here? Hitting a pawn? Hitting a fork? Why not? I think that's not a bad option. Let's go for it. They don't really have much on. So if they push, I will just... Okay. What about coming in here? It's a bit out the way. I don't think it's a great move, but do you know what? I'm going to do it. I don't think it's the worst move. I don't want to take and allow them to sort of have an instant check. Just, it's not a good look. What about this? And then they move, say, here. I jump in. That's a slightly better option. Let's give it a go. That would have been a nice fork, but I can't just take, because I take with check and then they move one of the rooks out the way. So where do they go from here? Yeah, they've got to be a little bit careful now. What about if I wedge this in here? Is there any checks? There's no checks. So let's just come in here like so. I need to get this out of the way. If I jump in here, they just come and attack me, so that doesn't work. I think that's just a no-brainer. Okay, yeah, look, they're attacking two things, so we're going to take with check straight away. Now, oh no, this hasn't happened. So they take, or there's a fork. Not a fork, sorry, they come down and I lose the rook. Is there any way out of this? I mean, what about if I just come back here? They take, I take. I think that's the only move I've got. Now my knight is in a horrible position. Can I get it out of there? I don't think I can. Okay, how do I get it? I've got to run. I've got to move pawns. I need to move a pawn. I need to get myself out of that. I don't quite understand. Are they just trying to push forward and then this? It works. They're trying to trap me. Yeah, I'd like to just push c6 and be able to sort of get my king out of that. 137, I mean, it don't look good, does it? Let's be honest. But, you know. Yeah, king's got to get out of there. In fact, is that really bad if I do this? No, it's not too bad because I can always get my rook out. Yeah, cool. I can do it. This knight is like heavily reliant on this bishop looking after it because at the moment it's just kind of in a bit of a fix. I don't know what to do. What about coming here? Attacking the rook. They may just get the trade done. I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, they take, I take. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad trade. Well, actually, it is a bad trade. I've got 1 minute 17. Wow, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. But it is defended. It is defended. I can't move. Right, you take, I take kind of thing. No, I can't even move that. Yeah, so basically, look, they take this first, I take back, and then they take that. Yeah, cool. Tight game, really tight game. I just couldn't quite figure anything out, to be honest. Hey. Oh, man. That was an interesting game. I've got to admit, I thought that was... it started off weirdly. It started off in a kind of blitzy way. That opening was kind of strange. I might have missed out on a couple of moves. But it wasn't... I mean, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all. Let me see if this is still recording properly. Now, whether or not... Okay, so they played with 85.9% and I played with 80% or 80.6%. They had a blunder. I didn't have a blunder. So let me just see if this kind of works in terms of showing you the review. Okay, it's working. Cool. Right. 2.3 up here. 2.3 up. That's the move. And a lot of the time you'll see this in blitz, guys, for those who don't know. Because you're so used to, okay, I take, and if he takes, then my queen takes his rook. But rook would be defended by the queen once that knight moves. So that is normally a lot of the time what happens. He takes. Wow. So you just hit the queen. I think there might be some weird kind of trappy kind of line. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to try and remember it because. All right, they do that. Now, I'm still winning 2.2 and I give it straight back to them. That's fine. That was the move. I wasn't quite sure exactly where. Now, they get they get their bishop into the action. So, yeah, it was knight. It was the knight. Why wouldn't it be the knight? Hitting the queen and defending. So the best was knight e7. And then what? Surely next move is bishop. Yeah. Oh. 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 Okay. Right. Now that was interesting. Let me just hide the moves and remember that again. So I'm going to go back because this does happen occasionally and I'm going to remember this. So you can either come out straight away and hit the knight, sorry, hit the queen, or that was perfectly fine. That's absolutely fine. They give you a check, d8, right? They get ready to get the bishop out, and you protect with e7, knight e7, okay? It's a best, knight e7, bishop out, go. Right, yeah, it's weird at this level. I mean, queens wouldn't be coming off the board there. It's strange, isn't it? But anyway, let me hide this stuff because I want to go into what actually happened. I don't think there's any bad thing trying to trade off the queens there. I mean, we're completely equal. Hit the queen again. They come out with the bishop. I mean... No, just put some pressure on the queen. Put some more pressure on the queen. Means they have to drop back. But then my rook's like in no man's land. I mean, everything's all over the place. I can't castle. So I just said sod it. But it doesn't mind the tension. But I just thought, okay, look, I don't want them castling and their queen's still out on the board causing carnage. So it takes with the king. I mean, still totally equal here. Yeah. Why? So that check there and then what, come back in this safety little spot. Still equal the whole way through, and here comes their blunder. Why is that? This permits the opponent to win material by eventually trapping a piece. Now, where was the piece that I could have... So I think I went bishop f3, attacking both pieces. Or did I go rook e8? Whatever I did, it wasn't right. So, yeah, it was that. Why didn't I do that? Best. So, if I take, they can't take with the rook because they get forked. So they take with the pawn. And then my knight's in no man's land. I just show moves then. What? Hang on a minute. Oh, they can't. They are trapped. Oh, missed it. It's coming there. They have to move. They can't go here and they can't go here. I saw them being able to go to sort of F1, but I didn't see past that. F1, and then I go out here as well, G2. And then they can't do anything about it. King comes out. I take, they take back. and I'm winning. I looked at that move. I looked at the first move. I looked at that, and then I thought they'd just move over here. Didn't look at the follow-up move. Bearing in mind I had 2 minutes and 53 seconds left at that point. Okay. Well, look, there's pluses to take away from this. I didn't play a bad game against somebody who's a bit higher rated than me. This guy was 1820. So look, I mean, I'm going to take the positives away from this. And then they fork, so I kind of have to take, yeah. Now here I'm getting into a lot of trouble. That was the move, the only move. Okay, that one. I prefer that actually because it allows my rook to get out this way rather than 1, 2, 3 moves. Okay, you've just got the 1, 2. I guess it is 3 moves anyway, but still, at least it's kind of. So bear that in mind. They're winning by 1. It's not massive. Yeah, now they can see the problems. They can see the problems now. Yeah, and this is where they can just sort of attack. Yeah, they see it now. They see the fact that I'm under pressure. I have to take back with the rook. They win a piece, and that is pretty much, that's game over. But an interesting game against a higher opponent. And these are the kind of games I'm going to have to get used to as I try and go through the ranks. But anyway, guys, sorry video so long. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like, comment, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. And I will see you all very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.